All right, so let's do a little deck overview. The Orzhov deck was a bomber, and then it had to turn into more of you know, a little more swift. This, I don't know if something like this exists. It's one of those experimental things that flies too fast. I'm gonna start off with the spells that you're probably not familiar with. Stingerback Terror, the 7/7, but it gets -1 for each card in your hand. There's only one in the deck because it's not something that you're trying to draw, but if you do end up drawing it, it's probably game winning. And the Hearth Elemental, which yes, I haven't ever seen anybody else play this card. I think maybe one other person months ago, but it's pretty key because it's card draw. Most of the mono red decks have 4 copies of Emberheart Challenger. I took 2 out because there are a lot of instances where you end up fully tapped out, and you want to be able to boost this guy a lot of the time because he's got haste and prowess. So if you can get that extra 1 damage or whatever on top of, you know, throwing something like Monstrous Rage or Turn Inside Out on top of him, that could be game winning. But sometimes you need 1 more turn. And occasionally when you have that 1 more turn situation, the spell that comes out because of this guy's ability is exactly the spell that would have made it like a guaranteed win. And so because of that, you want to minimize that situation. Took out 2 copies, we've got 2 in there. Still a great card, still very powerful, especially late game. Card draw from it, super amazing. But Hearth Elemental, 2 mana, Stoke Genius, discard your hand to draw 2 cards. Really easy to make this the last card in your hand. Sometimes you end up with a land and this in your hand. No big deal, pitch the land, doesn't matter. There's 19 in the deck, you know, I expect to lose 1 or 2 lands, no big deal. More importantly, on the right side, this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard that are instant, sorceries, and or have an adventure. Okay, this does not count itself because when you cast it as an adventure, it exiles. It's not in your graveyard. But very easy to get reduced cost thanks to things like Monstrous Rage, Shock, Turn Inside Out, Lightning Strike, all of which have 4 copies in the deck. Even getting 2, you know, 2 other spells in there makes it a 4 mana 4/5, which is great. That's a huge blocker, you know. I can block most things, and you're not letting the vast majority of green decks get their creatures big enough to become a threat to this. With 4 shocks, 4 lightning strikes, 4 instants that you can put, 8 instants that you can put on your creatures. Like, oh, it's just a 1/1, you should block it. And then suddenly, oh, sorry, man, it's a 5/6 now, plus trample, and your Mossborn Hydra's dead, and you're taking damage. So, yeah. That's how all of this ends up working together. Screaming Nemesis, I was so excited when this card released. It's wonderful, it's amazing. It's a even stronger version of this effect, you know what I mean? In Heartfire Hero, I always want to say Hearthfire Hero because Heart, and you know, it's all whatever. These 3 cards having the ability to either reflect back the damage that was done to it, which if they block with like a 6/6, you're sending 6 damage back their way. That's a mistake. Okay, and then of course you can buff up Cacophony Scamp with Rage or Turn Inside Out. Getting 2 of these in hand, having 2 of these in hand is massive. Plus 6, right, makes it a 7/1. Everybody knows the combo at this point. You hit with the guy, and then you sacrifice it, and that's like 14 damage, right? It's easy. Most people understand the mono red concept. I still had people hovering over cards like Monastery Swiftspear and reading it in these last couple of Diamond games. So maybe not everybody knows it. Maybe we've got some brand new players to the game who have made it to Diamond already. Congratulations to them. this deck has an 89% win rate. And so, yeah, Manifold Mouse does not ever really need to be cast with Offspring, but it's nice to cast it with Offspring when you have the extra mana. And then not forgetting, also only 2 Rock-Face Villages, only 2, because you don't want to be screwed out of casting a Shock or a Lightning Strike when you really, really need that red mana pit. So only 2 Rock-Face Villages. Don't forget that you have them on the table. It took me a few games to remember. Oh yeah, activate this ability. Activate this ability because of it. Or trigger this ability. Activate this ability, trigger this ability. You know what I mean? Activate this ability, trigger this ability. Synergies throughout. Make this guy as strong as possible whenever you can. Plot this guy on, you know, turn 3 if you get him, and then get all of your cards out of your hand. But of course, you know, susceptible to go for the throat removal, you know, ossification, things like that. But with this is a dense deck. It's just full throttle. And having this ability to pull more cards when you're almost out of gas, that's what takes you all the way. Really funny. The daily quests are cast white or black spells or green or white spells. Red. Nope. No thanks, I don't need any gold. Oh no, we could have seen this coming. Next turn. Compliment you, yeah. Don't cry to me, not my fault. Blame the shuffler. He did it all. Nothing made me do it. Yeah, you hate to see me playing mono red because when you see me, you're fucking dead. The shuffler made me do it. Yeah, baby, the shuffler made me do it. I'm gonna bad manners, cause it doesn't matter. The game's already over. If you block my nemesis, you're fucking dead. Good game, motherfucker, I'm playing red. Shuffle made me do it. Yeah, baby, the shuffle made me do it. If Shuffler would give me a shock, I wouldn't tell it to suck my, yeah, so a shock would, hey, that's what I'm fucking talking about! Now let's see, alright, that's what's up. Yeah, Shuffler tried to say I'm sorry. Fuck you, bitch. You know what you did. Shuffler made me do it, Diego. I'm sorry, amigo. Shuffler made me do it to you. Shuffler made me do it. You really fucking blew it. You never had a chance. Drew a second Screaming Nemesis. They bounced the Challenger back to my hand with this card. They thought they were doing something. Oh, okay, fine. You don't have it. Just pass it. Alright, you. Yep. That's the one that he's gonna kill with the doohickey. Wow. Never mind. He's just gonna fucking lose like a nerd. The shuffler made me do it. Don't blame me. Yeah, yeah, I'm cruising through rank like I robbed a bank because the shuffler made me do it. Really happy for you and all the things that you managed to accomplish. There we go. There we go. The shuffler made me do it to you. I'm sorry to put the screw to you, but the shuffler made me do it. The shuffler made me do it, yeah. I'm sorry, Japanese player. How's that shit 3 mana? 3 mana board wipe. Wow. Bantu's had a downside in that. Bantu's last stand had a downside. Ah, fuck you. Bantu's last stand at least had the downside that the 3 lands, or however many lands, assuming that you know, you're desperate enough to cast it, you're only going to need to tap 3 lands. And then they didn't untap. Your lands didn't untap. So if you're smart, you only tap those 3 lands, wipe the board. Next turn, you don't get those 3 lands, but, comma, I wish at this point I could just reveal my hand and be like, I have a lightning bolt. If you don't have life gain, you're fucked. Concede. But no, you gotta sit, you're gonna wait, you're gonna let this person think that they have a chance. God damn it, I don't understand. At any rate, Split Up is very strong. Didn't win them the game, but goddamn, it's a very strong spell. Taking at 11 life before you get your third land down. Time to roll. Okay. Nice. That's how you do it. Mono red. Well, we only drew 2 lands, and we've effectively had a dead card in hand the whole time. But that's okay, because it looks like this person just didn't draw fucking anything. And that's what you get for trying to play Orzhov. There we go. So normally that would have happened 4 turns ago or something like that, but yeah. And then I would have put this out and cast this just for the hell of it, and then we would have cast Heart Elemental just to discard and draw 2 more. And Stingerback would have probably been a 5, 6, or 7 at that point. And it doesn't matter. You know. Apparently this person is playing a diamond level deck too. Alright, maybe this time. Maybe this time. More land. Alright, fine. That's okay. Wow. Big place, man. Big place. Alright, well, it looks like they're just going to keep giving me Stingerback Terror and not a 3rd land. So, we just keep doing the thing we do. Nice. Love a good fairy dream thief. 4 turns into the game. Perfect. So close. So close. Oh, we actually might. I think it's by 1, right? That's fine. You have no idea what you just done. Come on, give me a land. Give me a land right at the end. Just to show him what I had in my hand. Ah, fuck, fine. Stuff made me do it, man. Levels. Who knows the levels? Levels. Who knows the levels? Thank you for sticking around this long. If you have, I appreciate it. I appreciate all the subscribers that have stuck around. I lost one subscriber because I know it was a spiteful person who wanted to try and dunk on the things that I released. But I am very familiar with statistics. I have a degree from Texas A&M University in sociology. It's a Bachelor of Science degree, so I had to do calculus classes and things like that. I'm very familiar with mathematics, statistics, and all of that stuff. So we exploited the system. We got to Mythic very fast. I hope other people can use this to get to Mythic if they would like to, or at least win a bunch of games, and not waste a ton of time drawing 57 lands. I'm going to add a little clip after this just to explain why I harped on the shuffler so much. But I would also like to say, if we can get to 1,000 subscribers, I say we because it's always a community, right? A video channel is always a community. And I'm trying to cultivate a community where we don't let bad faith actors yap and yammer and leave their bad messages up. All right. If somebody posted a fucking swastika on a building next to me, I'm tearing that shit down. Okay. So that being said, if we can get this channel to 1,000 subscribers and it starts making money, I don't need the money. So if it does get monetized, 100% promise that the first $1 million that I make is going to St. Jude's Children's Cancer Research Hospital. And, past that point, probably at least 50% of the money is going to charity. The rest of the money is going to streams, hopefully giveaways to the community to give back to people, stuff like that. But I don't need the money. And so it would be cool to do something good. Now I'm going to throw up this last little clip about my personal opinion about Shuffler, how it could improve. And again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great weekend and, you know, that you achieve all the goals that you set out for yourself. Really quickly, I just wanted to say that the reason I'm making such a big deal about the way the Arena Shuffler does things is because it affects the meta. The meta is crushed down to faster and faster decks because you have to be able to just draw through potentially having things like 3 or 4 lands for 17 turns. And because of that, mid-range decks suffer, period. Late game decks are basically impossible if you want to get to high level, you know, like if you want to push for a Mythic. And it's simply because Wizards isn't bothering to do a better job at shuffling the cards. And so the meta is limited. It could be so much more varied. There could be so many more viable decks in Arena, and people could have so much more fun. Like a 10-minute match would actually be enjoyable because both people would be able to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and it probably wouldn't even last 10 minutes, you know? The point is the number of viable decks is artificially limited because of Shuffler's poor performance.